Alright, people, it is May 10th of 2024. I don't know. I'm perturbed here, okay? For several different reasons, alright? So hold on a minute. Alright. Do you see this? This is my Western Union account. Okay? Do you see? Right? Okay? Alright, that's Western Union. Alright. That's what she got in Ugandan funds? That's what I paid in Canadian funds. And then, but that was my second donation, right? Then, this was the first one. You see there's two here. One for $250 and one for $200. Okay? You can see. Okay. And then the other one is, so May, where am I? Oh, I can't see, man. One is May 23rd of 24. That was the last one for $250. And the other one was May 15th of 2024. Okay? And with the 200, that's how much she got. And that was 200 Canadian. I did the extra 250 for the roof. All right? And then, and then if we do, because we kind of got into a hiccup here with this trolling crap. And people accusing people of scamming. I'm being accused of scamming. Lady Jane is being accused of scamming. And the trolls are coming in. As Lady Jane is changing her mission statement. Right? I'm just saying. Right? Which kind of like makes everything messed up now. Alright. So if I do $110 Canadian, right? See, that's Canadian dollars. This is what she gets in Uganda dollars. Okay. This is the exchange rate. 1 Canadian. See, I don't know how this works. I guess that's $100 Canadian. That's what it comes out to be in shillings in Uganda. But because I'm doing 110, because I said I would, but I'm kind of annoyed, and I told Lady Jane that I'm not going to be making that many, I'm not going to be making donations at this point, because basically what happened was, with the trolling people, I sent her an email through Gmail, you can see here, right, okay, telling her that if the trolls start harassing her, because we know that Tammy got harassed, right? When Tammy was working with me and talking with me and offered to help me with Amari and stuff, who came out of the woodwork? Tamika Johnson, and started attacking Tammy. Sending Tammy emails and shit. making threats to Tammy. And Tammy is in the United States of America. When Tommy was helping me in the beginning when Shimei was murdered, and he was doing some videos, what did Tamika Johnson do? She went after Tommy and started harassing him. Same thing with Truth for Reality. When Truth for Reality was helping me and did a couple of videos on Shimei and what happened to Shimei, what did Tamika do? Started harassing him. Right? I'm just saying. So I warned Lady Jane, you know, just be aware of that, because they're coming in, you know, I mean, if you're a bad person, you get rewarded by YouTube. Seriously. Now, this person here is a troll. They come in under a fake username. What they do is they set up a secondary account. See? You can switch your account. We have Andre's Side Dish, or Amari's Side Dish, right? That would be my second account, right? So I can switch between NuNationsUnity and Amari's Side Dish. So what this person does is they've got their main account, whatever it is, and then they got their freak account with their fake username that they come in, and that's the only way they can come in and post, because I blocked them, right? After I just hide them. Before, in the old days, you used to be able to block them. Now you just hide them. So this is why they're changing their name all the time. They're coming in with the same person is coming in with multiple fake user accounts. So here, this was posted on May 9th, right? And then, let's see. May 9th, I put the video up on May 9th. They came in on May 9th because they watch in every video that I got. They take notes, right? Because you know that's Tamika Johnson, because that's what she says. She likes to take her little notes. For some reason, this is not working. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. I have to change this mouse. I don't have a mouse pad here, so that doesn't help. No, this mouse is very old. Yeah, look at this. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. There we go. And then I answered it, and I left it, and then they came back in again May 9th after I made it so they couldn't use that username that they were using as a fake username, and they came in under a new one, right, through that switching of accounts, and then proceeded to post, right? So let's read. Let's just, for the sake of it, read here, right, people? Okay, so I posted the video. What's the video title? Oh, wait. So we've got this one here, Lorette Benson, fake username, coming in through a secondary account, right? And then we've got Lorette Swackmer, and then I posted, and because I forgot to, what is that called? Block them or put them, like hide them or whatever. They came in and they posted again. But if you notice, I'm just copying and posting from my comment section, right? Because this is the bullshit YouTubers have to put up with. Well, YouTube really encourages it because they do nothing to prevent it from happening. So in the meantime, ain't looking for love, not a movie set, right? Because I'm being accused. Somebody's being accused of scamming. At first I thought it was towards Lady Jane. So that's why I did what I did. Not a movie set. Okay. Right? Anyway, then I post up the video, and now I'm being accused of scamming. Okay? I don't know how I'm scamming because I'm the one making the donations here. I'm not asking people to make donations to me. I'm asking people to make donations to Lady Jane. Do not make direct donations to me. I don't need the hassle. It's not my responsibility. She has links on her page, on the About page, for you to contact her so that you can do it through Western Union, whatever other things that she's connected up with. For Canada, it has to go through Western Union. We tried the What's Up thing there with TeaSha, but it didn't work. So I ended up going through Western Union. How you want to do it is your business. Never asked you to donate to me to give to Lady Jane. Now, TeaSha offered to chip in $100, so of course it's easier for her just to give me the $100, and I include it with what I'm sending if and when I send something to Lady Jane. However, now we've got a monkey wrench into the mix. Okay? So first of all, we've got this person here, unapologetically 211, who you can see publicly subscribed to me 4 years ago, right? And all this individual has to say is, this is a complete scam. All right. I didn't know that she had subscribed to me 4 years ago until I copied and pasted her comment. But if you notice, we'll get back to the troll in a minute. I mean, for all we know, it could be her coming in on a second account trolling. Right here. See, I left her post up. Right? Because I don't know who that person is, but when she posted, I kind of remembered the name from back in the day, like a couple years ago or whatever it was. Because she was somewhat on the bandwagon with the quote-unquote beef sector, you know, with the black women beating each other up and that kind of thing. And I don't know if she was trying to play the middle woman in all of it and be a mediator, or if she was choosing sides or whatever. I don't know, because I don't follow it 24/7, that stuff, right? You know, either or. I came in. Now, she posted this 3 days ago. And your point is, explain your opinion, scamming who? Because she left it really open. This is a complete scam. Well, first of all, where's the scam? Right? Where's the scam? I'm saying here's somebody sitting up in Uganda trying to do something for a bunch of vulnerable families. If, you know, trying to rustle up a group of noble women that can help to support a cause that's going to require a bit of money, a bit of patience, a bit of time to see any kind of results where we can say that we actually really made a serious difference, where the people that we're helping are becoming more self-sufficient. Okay. That's not a scam. That is a, I don't know. I'm bringing the information to you, right? And if I'm making donations, I'm doing it through to show leadership, right? To ease people's minds, you know, concerns, fears, suspicions, or whatever. And that's why I suggested to Lady Jane, well, you'd better, you know, it's best if you really think that these people in where your so-called village is that need support, right? Then yeah, you better be prepared to do the backup videos to show where you spent the money. Otherwise, what? You're gonna be what? You know, waiting for, right? If you want results, you have to show people that, right? Okay. So anyway, I don't want to get into it. And then I came back in. So this was 3 days ago. She obviously didn't answer. I sort of remember the woman, but I went to her page and she's only got 2 videos up, right? She took all her other videos down for whatever reason. So I don't know if maybe Raw Squad or Latrice Allen or one of those types of women went after her to take down videos because, you know, she was kind of like, I don't want to say she was a reaction channel, but, you know, she spoke about what was going on the YouTube streets, let's put it that way, when it comes to black women. All right, so whatever. And then she fell off to the wayside. So I was surprised when I copied and pasted her this, because she might come back and completely remove her post, right? So I've got my backup. So when it came to say that she'd been my subscriber for 4 years, I'm like, okay, lurking in the bushes. But just because she's lurking in the bushes doesn't mean that she's supportive of me, because clearly, just with what she has to say here, it kind of tells me she's not. And then I give her an opportunity to explain herself, and she refuses to answer. Okay, so you leave the impression behind. Now, I could have deleted the whole comment and blocked her, but you know why? She hasn't, you know, she made a statement, she has an opinion, she has an opportunity to explain herself, but she doesn't want to. But I respect the fact that she's been a subscriber for 4 years. That's pretty good, right? Even though she hasn't really, well, she never said anything. Maybe once in the blue moon, I can't remember. Either or she said something now for whatever reason. Why? Because I mentioned Latrice Allen. Do you still, after all these years, support Latrice Allen? Knowing what you know about Latrice Allen with the gimme, 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 let's brag about this and what I have and blah and blah and blah. Same thing with Raw Squad crap. And, you know, like clearly you're not involved with that anymore because you took down all your freaking videos and you only left 2 up for whatever strange reason. And you're lurking in other people's pages in the bushes, making elusive comments comments that are pointing fingers without coming with any evidence. Okay? But whatever, you know, give respect where respect is due, and she, you know, she's a subscriber 4 years, okay. I don't know what's on her mind, so anyway, I came back in a day later, because I'm thinking, I'm waiting, and she's not answering, and I'm like, where did you pop in from anyway? And that's when I went after, looked at her page, and realized, you know, she'd been a subscriber for 4 years, right? And then I listened to the couple of videos that was there, and I remember looking at some of her videos, and she had more than 2 people, and she was jumping on some kind of bandwagon, but for whatever reason, she jumped off. And now she's just lurking around accusing people of shit, but not being specific about it. Okay, all right, no prob. And then I noted, turns out I am subscribed to you, because when I went to her page, I realized I was subscribed to her. So I must have subscribed to her a few years back, right? To you. But it looks like you fell off the grid because she's only got 2 freaking videos up. So something happened. I don't know what happened. Is she taking it out on me? And then I came back in, and I've given Lady Jane $450 Canadian funds via Western Union. So if you are accusing me of scamming her, I don't know how that is possible. As for Lady Jane scamming me, I don't think so, as even in Uganda, things cost money. Hold on a minute. And not everyone has money due to circumstances, and let's face it, the country is broken. And then I wrote, you boast on your mission statement, apologetically, whatever, right? She boasts, right? Okay, because she's proud of it. Okay, whatever. There's a fine line between being proud and boasting, and she's more like boasting because she boasts, right? Listen, you boast on your mission statement channel page to be God-fearing, but yet you cast judgment without even explaining why. That's how it starts to lean towards a boast. How can you boast? How can you say? How can you point out whatever, that you're God-fearing, but be very, 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 very quick to cast judgment, where's my finger, and not explain yourself, especially when I'm asking you and I give you time to do it. So for all we know, this person here see, I copied and pasted, so if she deletes her post, it's still there. Right? Okay, so we'll shorten this. Now we'll get into the troll part. How do we know that apologetically so-and-so isn't this person coming in on a second account? Which ultimately is a fake username. Because if you click on the link where I post the about, in terms of when they became a member, which was on this day, because that's the only way they can come in and post on my comment section, right? They have to come in with a new username. But they've been trolling me for years. Could be Julian Johnson's sister, right? Or for all we know, it could be apologetically whoever she is, right? And friends, I'm just saying. All right. So anyway, this person here has been doing this off and on for years. Especially after Shimei was dead. After Shimei got murdered, this person showed up. Basically. I'm a little confused. Let's read this. Okay? I'm a little confused here. You're on welfare here in beautiful BC. So they're making it sound like they're in British Columbia, Canada. Here in. This person is here, which confirms that this person more than likely is Julian Johnson's sister, Tamika Johnson-Dixon, who likes to stalk my yard, my house, my family, and has been ever since Shimei's been murdered. Pretty much. Okay? But you have money that you say is a drop in the bucket. No, for you. For me, in comparison to Uganda dollars, yeah, it is a drop in the bucket in comparison to Uganda dollars in terms of the cost of living, right? Because I think you can get more for your money in Uganda than you can in Canada, okay? And don't forget, the woman with little Peter and her other children, they're not being run out of their house by greedy landlords looking to get rich off of frickin' shanty shacks like they are in beautiful BC. Okay? A shanty shack is basically a shanty shack. All right? Shanty shacks comes in all shapes and sizes. At the end of the day, that woman in her shanty shack sitting up in Uganda is not being run out of her house so that greedy landlords can get rich off of their next tenants. But that's happening in beautiful BC. All right. So that's what I mean by cost of living. All right? And for the amount of money that I gave Lady Jane to do the roof, she still had money left over to go back and give the mom some sheets, some extra food, some salt, some cooking oil, right? That means a lot to somebody that has nothing. And there are no social services, no welfare. The best that woman might get is having her children put in an orphanage, and she'll be left to sit on the side of a road. Okay? Otherwise, if there was welfare with social services there, they would have helped her a long time ago. But instead, what was going on is the village, I don't know how big it is, but anyway, people in the village were just going on talking, probably shit talking about the mom, about how poor she was, and how disheveled she was, and how miserable she was, and how she was failing her children, just so that they had something to freaking gossip about. Gossip, talk about, do a raw squat about. So that they could elevate themselves in their miserable little shanty shacks themselves, sitting up in Uganda in a broken freaking country, feeling like they were superior to the mom that I was helping, with Lady Jane assisting that process. Because if it wouldn't have been for Lady Jane going out and doing what she did, it wouldn't have gotten done. But she needed my help in order to do the job, which in comparison to dollars, Uganda dollars, to Canadian dollars, what Lady Jane did, if I had to put a metal sheeting roof on my leaky porch that I've been living with for 14 freaking years, it would cost me, probably $1,000 Canadian versus $250 Canadian, and still have extra food to buy and to have. That's what I mean by a drop of the bucket. But clearly we're dealing with somebody that's got those brain munchers in their head. From drinking lean, which is cough syrup, when they were young, and frying their freaking brains, not to mention with anything else that they're pumping into their body when they want to get stoned. Okay? So yeah, I'd rather give somebody $250 and still have some extra money for some food and have a metal roof put on a freaking shanty shack, right? So that the children have a dry place to sleep and the mother can sleep and rest and be prepared the next day to get up and do what moms have to do, versus spending $1,000 on my leaky porch, to which I have absolutely no responsibility to do, but, and get what? Take it as is? Yeah, okay. Whatever. I'll be out in the porch trying to fix my leaks. But I won't pay $1,000 to do it, because I've already paid freaking $400 at one point in the past to freaking do it. And the stupid plastic crap that's up there was a waste of time and a waste of money. And I shouldn't have to. But it makes my life uncomfortable. Right? It breeds that angst. Right? I'm just saying. Anyway, for you to give to someone who lives in Uganda, yeah, take that $250 and apply it to Canadian dollars for the same amount of sheeting, for the same amount of freaking labor, and it would have costed me $1,000 to do what Lady Jane did for $250. But you're half brain freaking dead already, so you wouldn't understand that. Right? You're too busy sitting up in the freaking strip bar trying to attract yourself your next trick. Basically. Anyway, that just doesn't make sense. Well, of course not. Because you don't have to do stuff like that. Right? So if you don't know, how would you know? You wouldn't. It's welfare that gives you that money to help feed your grandkids. Listen, lady. Because I'm sure you're a woman. Unless, of course, you're some big, ugly, fat man sitting in a wheelchair and can't get up for nothing. Waiting for your caregiver to come and wipe your ass. Basically. You're one of two things. Okay? Because you're definitely ugly and you like to troll. Right? So, I can feed my family 2 years without ever once going to a grocery store. And that includes my son and his wife. And if TeaSha comes by with the kids, with Alex, I can also help to feed them as well. So don't even try and throw that one at me. Okay? Like, seriously. Not to send money to a third world country. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that because, I might say something that I don't really mean. In terms of, maybe I'm tired of helping stupid Canadians with their selfish ways. You ever stop to think about that? Right? Because that's basically what it is. They're selfish and they're ungrateful. So why do I want to stick my neck out for anybody in my community at this point in life, considering what I've done for the last 25 years, outside of maybe walking down the street and there's a homeless person sitting on the cement and passing them a $20 bill, which would not be uncommon for me to do. Or just maybe randomly sending $375 of organic oats and chickpeas and whatever it was that I sent Shelley up in freaking on the east coast of the United States in America when they were cutting back on their food stamps, and I didn't want her to worry. And because I was doing video after video after video with bulk food, we're talking 100 pounds at a time, I didn't want her to think that I was rubbing it in her freaking face. Bragging. I didn't want to brag. I wanted to be part of the solution and not say, oh, look at me, I got this, I got, look at me, he, he, he. No, Shelly, you're crying on that you're scared. I understand that feeling. I know exactly how it fucking feels. Sorry, boo-boo feels. So here, let me just ease your fear for even just a little while. I'll get you started on the food prep. After that, what she did with it, you know, it's up to her to take responsibility. Either or. It wasn't anything she asked for. She didn't expect it. Okay? So no regrets. And I kept on doing what I was doing until I just don't want to do it anymore. My last shop at Walmart was a few spices, and I had to order jerk spice on Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere else because I want to make freaking Jamaican patties. How about that? So I brought my grocery bill from thousands of dollars to basically $50. Like seriously, I want to shop on Walmart right now, but I don't know what to buy because I don't need it. So don't throw food up in my face. I like to see you do what I did. Prepare to hunker down for 5 fucking years, dig deep into your pocket, and get busy, and work yourself basically like a damn workhorse so people around you can talk bad about you and criticize you and tell you that you're nuts. To only come back to you 5 freaking years later and then sit up there and say, well, maybe you're not so nuts. Maybe you did do the right thing. Because the world is getting messed up. How did you know that, Mom? Well, I don't know. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm answering your questions. You can fill in your blanks with your notes. That just doesn't make sense. It's welfare that gives you that money to help feed your grandkids, not go send money to a third world country. Are you sure about that? Or do you pay my bills? What do you know other than what I tell you? I mean, where do you get all this money from? You say the banks froze. Okay, correct yourself because we know that you're half working on a brain here because the other half is pretty much out the door. I have my own personal life. And then I have a foundation that's on lockdown because of inactive board directors, basically, that couldn't take the time to help me with things as I needed help with. And as, you know, life goes on and, you know, Amari and my eyes. And so basically, yeah, the bank accounts for the foundation are frozen. Yep. When I wanted to take off Uncle John as a signing board director after years of him being gone, I had a board director was supposed to come to Van City because that's where I have 2 banks. I have HSBC Bank and Van City. Riley was there. I was there. The bank manager was there. Everybody was there that needed to sign all the paperwork to sign on this other board director so that we could carry on and, you know, they'd be active and I'd have 2 because it takes 2 people to sign to take out money, right? There's nothing in the bank accounts. I can show them to you. It's easy enough. You got $22 in one, $0 in another, maybe $70, right? I brought them down to a few accounts. And then HSB Bank, they closed down and they're now switching over to Royal Bank. And so anyway, that guy never showed up. Riley was sitting there, I was sitting there, we sat there for a freaking hour waiting for that guy to come because he said he was going to be becoming a signing board director, and he never showed up. So nothing changed. Although we did take Uncle John off of Van City. Do you know that Uncle John, Mr. Bernard John Duncan, still has signing authority after all these years since 2015 with HSBC Bank? As a matter of fact, so does Riley. So if I wanted to go to the fucking bank and do something, Riley can come with me. We put our 2 signatures down, we're done. So I can unfreeze at least, or maybe Riley is still signed on. You know what? I think Riley, honestly, is still signed on with Van City and HSBC Bank. That's how my government has fucked me over by messing with my family. So you don't know what you're talking about, slob. You don't. As for anything that's on my side of the fence when it comes to my personal shit, oh, please. I have good credit. I get child support. I noticed that you mentioned something down here about child support. We'll get to it in a minute. Hold on. So, whatever yeah, I said that. But you know what? Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Because, as a matter of fact, let me just see here. Let me just see. I have to phone Royal Bank. Because Royal Bank has taken over HSBC Bank. And, but you see, people, it's hard for me to see. Huh. That's the problem. You know, it was hard enough before as it is. Now it's even harder. But I'm in the midst of finishing up with the food prep. Obviously, my son put a lot of pressure on me, right? You know, so I got to finish with that. Okay, look, I'll show you. Here we go. You want proof? Here's your proof. Here. Okay, do you see? Royal Bank. Do you see this? Okay, what's on here? Do you see what it says? New foundation for, oh my Lord. I'm getting I don't know what I'm getting here. I'm getting a shadowing. Anyway, hold on a minute. Okay, so I have to change my glasses here as best as I can. So anyway, I ran into Riley. Well, I didn't run into Riley. My son, Brooks, ran into Riley. Riley wants to do a park event. And I'm almost positive Riley is still assigning board director to the foundation. Although he was taken off as a board director because he kind of fell off to the wayside. And I didn't want to bother him because I had so much scandal going on in my life, people. But it's nothing to sign him back on. Okay? Because the other board director, I don't know. He took my fucking certificates and he freaking ran off with them. And he won't give them back to me. Like, what the hell? And he's supposed to be a respectable businessman. Yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on with there. And that was the one that was supposed to come and put his John Henry on so that I could get a handle on these accounts. But do you see that? You tell me how I'm fucking lying here, bitch. Because you know you're a bitch. Men don't got time for this kind of shit. Unless they're fat and ugly and they're sitting in a wheelchair waiting for their diapers to be changed. I'm just saying. Okay? Now, like I said, HSBC, most recently in the last few months, was taken over by the Royal Bank. I guess they collapsed or something. I don't know what happened to HSBC. I haven't followed up on it. If you heard me, I just opened this envelope now. And I got another one here, too. They sent me two. Right? They sent me two here. Right? But I need to just, get on with a little bit of stuff here and figure it, I gotta finish first dealing with my freaking son and his crap. Right? Whatever I'm doing. Okay, so in this account, I just opened it. So what does it say here? They've given me new numbers. I just haven't dealt with it yet. What is this? Coming together. What is this? What the hell is this? As if I can see it. Okay, this is just, I don't know. This is just some flyer. Hold on, I got another one here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to clear out, I got two computers going here, so what I do is I get irradiated with all this electricity around me, and I burn out my eyes by looking on these computer screens, right? I had to clear, obviously my little SD card filled up. Either or, let's just carry on. So, and Andre's making me a coffee. I told him this is important, right? Anyway, so, let's see. Did I miss something here? Okay, so we did the drop in the bucket, right? I discussed that. Take $1,000, whatever Lady Jane paid for $250 it would have costed me $1,000 to fix my landlord's porch with the roof, and only the roof. All right, so that's a drop in a bucket compared to what I'd have to pay for the same kind of thing. Only in my situation, it's just the porch. Where in Lady's situation, she actually covered up, you know, and made it so that children and the parent was protected from the rain when they slept or were inside the home, right? Okay? Big difference. So no regrets. All right. And I don't think it was a movie set. I really don't. And that's why I expressed to Lady Jane that it's important that you document these things. Because if you don't, you know, everything can go sideways, which it's gone sideways. And that's why I'm doing this video. All right. So, but I'm seasoned. So, it's like a water off a duck's back. That just doesn't make sense. It's welfare that gives you that money to help you feed your grandkids, not to go send money to third world country. Well, you can only assume that because you don't really know, right? You know I'm on welfare. You know I have a high debt load. You refuse to believe that I get child support after all these years for my dead children in terms of Sierra. I get child support for Sierra because her dad didn't pay child support for Sierra when Sierra was a kid. But because it's registered with the Family Enforcement Maintenance Program in the province of beautiful British Columbia, Canada, he's still held to that. And he lives in, I think, Oregon or Tacoma or someplace like that. He's not even in freaking Canada. And yeah, I do. I get child support every month. And under the NDP, I'm allowed to keep that child support. It doesn't get deducted off my welfare check. Okay? So what I do with that is my business. Right? It is what it is. And then there's Mark Kane's dad sitting up in Texas who owes me child support. The only thing is the courts can't get him to pay because I guess he's disabled and probably doesn't have the income, or he's paying child support for all his other kids and he doesn't have the income to forward any for what he owes me in Canada. And we're talking almost 40 grand. Okay? But whatever. If I get it, I get it. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Right? For the majority of the child support that I got since I started getting child support, out of the blue, it just popped up, and I get it basically every month in different dollar amounts. Most of that money, I'd probably say a good 85 to 90% at least, 90%, yeah, went into food prep. Okay? And now that I don't need to do food prep, so what? So what if I take 100 or 2 and send it to Uganda to put up a roof for a mother with children so that they're not sitting in the rain in their house waiting for help as the community like YouTube are going around gossiping behind their back saying what a lousy mother that person is because she can't provide for her children properly even though not one of them are lifting a finger to help her. Yeah, okay. Including the Uganda government, because clearly they rely on orphanages to pick up the slack, offload. All right, let's get on with it. That just doesn't make sense. It's welfare that gives you that money to help feed your grandkids, not to go send money to third world countries. I mean, where do you get all this money from? You say the banks froze your accounts. I told you, those aren't my accounts. That's the nonprofit's accounts. But they're not frozen because Riley is back up on the scene. And he's a signing board director to both banks, which means now I can freaking deal with it without waiting for that other board director who ran off with my foundation certificates and is now acting like he doesn't fucking know me. Who? Where? What? Yeah, why? Why did you take those certificates telling me you were going to go get $2 million, disappeared with them, never brought them back, and I've been asking you to bring them back, and now you're acting like you don't freaking know me? You forgot? How could you possibly forget? You're a freaking businessman that runs a bloody security business. And you went to school to be a lawyer after you got into a freaking car accident, and all you did was just bring in a bunch of freaking immigrants. From India, that is. Right? You're so bright. Why don't you come help me? We booked you an appointment with the bank to come and put your John Henry down. You didn't even show up. You left Riley and me high and dry sitting at Van City waiting for you, and you never came. But you always said that you were there to help and that you believed in the mission. And then you asked me for the certificates because you were trying to get money for the foundation. For all I know, maybe he did get that $2 million, people, and ran off with it. And that's why he threw away their certificates. But it doesn't matter. Those accounts are still there. And now that Riley, our DJ, Big Jollof Sound, is back on the block, I can freaking deal with them. Because it only requires 2 signatures. Because you have to remember, Uncle John was removed on the day when Riley and I showed up at Van City to have so-and-so come put his John Henry as we removed John's. So John doesn't have a signature with signing authority at Van City, but he does with HSBC Bank. There's only 3 signing authorities with HSBC Bank. Uncle John, after all these years, the problem didn't go away, Eleanor Gilding. As hard as you tried to remove your dirty secret and hide it away like a dirty secret, if you notice, it's still there. Only Uncle John isn't a dirty secret. His John Henry still counts. And then there's Riley's and mine. I haven't talked to Riley for years, and now we're planning a park event. So you go figure. It won't be long before those bank accounts are unfroze. But don't come asking me for money, because there is no money. What, $22.37? Whoop-de-frickin-do. That's because everybody's running around doing for theirself, robbing each other when they're not robbing their own family members. Okay? Penny pinching not because they need it, but because they're greedy. Welcome to the new Congo, aka Canada. So yeah, I want to go outside of my territory and just be free. Fly in the air, high, like an eagle, like any kind of freaking bird. Let the wings, let the wind catch my wings and take me where I just go. I'm not afraid to get into a little bit of turbulence and whoosh, because the wind caught my wings and whoosh and made me fly over there. I'm not. So I flew to Uganda. The only thing is, it's kind of getting funky here with all this shit. But with this comes out more crap, which we're going to get to. It'd probably be a long freaking video. But no regrets, because Riley is back on the scene. All right. He's a bona fide 100% true person with good character. Let's just put it that way. Andre? No. Okay. Yet you are always spending money and saying you're in debt with the banks. I'm in debt with my fucking credit cards. Sorry, boo-boo credit cards. Or my personal loan. So what? As if other people aren't? Right? I'm sorry, I don't sit up in some little strip club waiting for $5 donations, $5 tips, waiting for a lap dance so I can go do my OnlyFans and, pay my taxes without a bank account. Yeah, okay, whatever. Assuming that, we're dealing with the Tamika Johnson here, stripper of the year. How can that be if they froze your account? They didn't freeze my account. They didn't. They didn't freeze HSBC bank accounts, Van City bank accounts. They just went dormant. There's a difference between frozen and dormant. And the reason they went dormant is because the person I was relying on to help me with the accounts was just whatever, busy, accumulating wealth for himself and his community. His community, not my fucking community, sorry boo-boo community, but his community. So everything just stayed dormant. Didn't mean it went away. It's just dormant. And now that Riley's back, it won't be dormant. By the end of the summer, it will be dealt with. Yeah. And then maybe I'll open up something online with Rhea's help, because Rhea is a board director now, and we were going to sell some XG kid hats. Put your money where your mouth is. But I need help with that. And if nobody helps me, then it doesn't happen. In the meantime, though, how can that be if they froze? No, they're not frozen. They're dormant. Your account. And you're not paying your bills. When did I ever say I don't pay my bills? I say I juggle my bills. I'm a wheeler and dealer when it comes to my bills. I cut back on bills, but I make my bills. I pay my bills. Otherwise, I wouldn't have credit, okay? Like, duh. People need to start listening to what you say. Well, not everybody is like you that drank lean cough syrup in their younger years to get high, so that it finally caught up with them and took away half of their brain cells, where there's practically nothing left.
Your coffee's there.
With the other half being munched away with those brain munchers. I'm just saying. Right? Or maybe you take high doses of medication and you just zone out every now and then. Like a oxycodone or something, right? A pill popper. Okay. People need to start listening to what you say. It just doesn't make sense. I think the money that you magically get is your daughter Shamay's drug money that was probably hidden under her shitty mattresses. Laughing out loud. Now that's right there is signature of Julian Johnson's sister, Tamika Johnson Dixon. Julian did not kill Shamay by himself. He had help. There was another individual who laced Shamay smokes with medical fentanyl, which you can't get off the streets, people, because it's medical fentanyl, to subdue her for 2 days as she continued to smoke them and get that medical fentanyl in her system, so that when he showed up on day 2.5, he took her out. And that was after he whacked her on the head, because I can prove that she has a bruise on her forehead, as hospital staff at the Surrey Memorial Hospital refused to acknowledge that she had a bruise, because at the end of the day, Shamay's organs were pillaged illegally to sell on the black market. Welcome to beautiful British Columbia, Canada. And then a year and a bit later, Julian's mother came into a big fake car accident ICBC claim and cashed out and bought herself a house after my daughter was snuffed out by her kids. Don't say the shit doesn't happen, because it does. And the cops covered it up because they're involved. Because then we've got Sierra Chorney, my other daughter's story, with her being lured to her death, with that corner, with the freaking motherboard in her hair, with the robotoid eyes. And if you've been watching my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, with just that last little sentence there, with Shamay drug money. No, if there was any drug money around, that would have been Julian Johnson, right? Shamay left Julian. She was going back with Freddie. And it enraged Tamika, and it enraged Julian, to where they came back and they took out my daughter thinking they were going to get Amari, and they didn't. Well, the mother cashed out on a fake ICBC claim a year later for pandering illegal body parts. All right. Now, that person wasn't satisfied. They came in on the 7th. This was done on the 7th. If you click this, it comes up with a blank page. You can see that. I'll go back. Alrighty-o. Now it is May 6th of 2020. Right? You seen that? I mean, it's easy to be a troll on YouTube. YouTube makes it easy for people to do it. As a matter of fact, I think they encourage it because they do nothing to stop it. It's been like that for years. This is what I tried to warn Lady Jane about. Doesn't matter if the trolls are coming in from my page or if she's attracting trolls herself. Sooner or later, she's going to get trolled. And if she doesn't know how to deal with it, well, here's my advice. Because since I've been dealing with you, Lady Jane, the trolls are coming out even harder on me. For several reasons. One, because some of these people don't want any extra donations that are floating around on YouTube to go your way. Because if you notice, I'm not asking for donations from me because I don't need it. Okay? I got food. A leaky boat is better than no boat. But my leaky boat is out on my porch. It's not inside my house where my children sleep. Big difference. Okay? And then, of course, we've got people who like to injure others and think that they can get away with it. And because they did get away with it, because the cops are corrupt in provinces of British Columbia, Canada, and we have such a thing as called illegal organ harvesting, it makes them think they're big and bad and they're powerful, so they can go around harassing people and making false accusations just so that they can cover up their own freaking asses, knowing that the cops will cover it up for them. But there's a cost to that. They have to go out and make sure somebody else ends up on that table to have their organs illegally harvested. So it's like a chain reaction. You know, once you sell your soul to the devil, that's it. You're bound to it. Okay, well, I'm not bound to no devil here. Alrighty-o. So I already showed you this one here. This was 3 days ago. This was the day I posted. It was on the 7th of May. Okay? This one, I hid comments. In the old days, it used to be block the person. Now it's hide them, or you can report them. I don't even bother reporting them because it's a waste of time. YouTube, like I said, they feed off this shit. They like it. And, you know, they target certain individuals, with me being one of them. So I don't even waste my time. So I just go with the lesser of the two evils, and I just hide the post. So they can't post under that name anymore. Right? And you're allowed to change 2 times within 2 months or something. So they quickly changed their name again under this one user account. And they came back to poke the bear, and they did it again on May 9th. But they came under a different username with the same result. If you click in the link on this post down there, you're going to get a blank page. No longer exists. First it was this, May 7th, and then it came in on May 9th with this. Under the same one user account that they lurk under in terms of their main channel. Right? Where I have just Amari's side dish. And I think maybe something to do with Andre. I don't know. But I don't have time for that. So, you know, either or. All right. So on May 9th, they couldn't come in with the old one because I hid the comment. So they had to change their name again and do it again. And it says, you know, charity begins at home. Yeah, more than $50,000 later, not including my time and everything else I've invested all these years, I think I did more than enough for British Columbia, Canada, when you want to talk about quote-unquote home. Right? Instead of giving money to people in Uganda. Really, what's your concern here? Why are you afraid for Lady Jane to get a little bit of money to help vulnerable families in need? Why does that disturb you so much? Is it because you can't afford it, even though you think you're some rich bitch rich bitch swinging around a pole? Is that like you brag on about how you make $55,000 if you're Tamika Johnson, right? Bragging on about how you make $55,000 or more. I'm sure you're lowballing it because you don't want to pay taxes on it, right? And that's all through $5 tips because you don't get a wage. Not anymore like the good old days with the girls, right? The girls get booked in. They get $50 a show, $100 a show, whatever it was. Nowadays, you strip for tips. That's it. And lap dancing. And if you can pick up a few Johns and tricks along the way, then so be it. Other than that, that's it. That's all you get. And you're basically just strutting your shit around looking for attention. Okay? So what do you care what I do with my money? Especially if it's for a noble freaking cause. Because clearly, you're not a noble person. There's nothing noble about you. Anyway, instead of giving money to people in Uganda, why don't you start at home with your own kids and grandkids? Oh my God, as if my kids don't have enough. For crying out loud, they're throwing it out in the freaking garbage. They're putting it out in the garage so it gets ruined. They take it out and give it to strangers. Who knows, right? They're doing all kinds of crazy shit with my shit. So it's not like they want it. Right? And if they, they can, when I'm dead, they can have one big estate sale, grab as much money as they can, and they can run for the hills, not including the food. Right? As for my grandkids, well, before my grandkids would get anything, my greedy-ass kids would be coming in there saying, no, grandkids don't count. It's the kids that count because that's the way things roll in society. And that's true because that's what my uncles and aunts did with me when my mother died. My grandmother sold her house, right? My mother died. Well, my mother died. My mother died at the same time my grandmother was selling her house. And then my grandmother's 4 other children said, you can't give to Judy or Darcy, who is my brother, because we are just grandchildren, even though my mother died. And they took my mother's share and they split it between themselves and they left me and my brother high and dry. And then they talked bad about us because we weren't successful in our lives because my uncles and, that side of the family over there, what is right is white or whatever fucking attitudes that they had going on with themselves. They needed something to talk about bad so that they could elevate themselves in order to feel important, even though by the time it was all said and done, my uncles ended up moving to my grandmother's house at some point with broken marriages, alcoholics, and then after she sold the house, she gave everybody money. They went off and spent it as they're talking bad about me, refusing to help me, wouldn't help me with my brother, nothing. And that's why finally I just left Victoria and came to Vancouver to try and start my own business. Young and dumb, but I did it anyway. And in the end, every last one of them lost it all after they spent whatever it was that my grandmother gave to them. For what it was worth. But they basically robbed my mother of her inheritance to keep it for themselves because they were the kids. And lowly grandchildren had no rights. Well, my kids kind of think the same way because that's the way people are conditioned to think. That's why Eleanor Gilding went into John's life and medically kidnapped him, thinking that she owned John's inheritance. Yeah. And she made it so that she got it by committing fraud. Yeah. Yeah, and the government protected her because that's what's going on with the elderly people out here. They're being targeted for their assets, especially their houses, because we got a new breed moving into Canada. That's the property developer that's stimulating the economy with freaking laundered money from body parts. Why don't you talk about that since you're so freaking smart? Oh, I know. Mummy capitalized off of that. She got a fake ICBC claim and sitting nice in a house. Yeah, right. That's why she came the next day thinking she was going to get a Mari. Yeah, right. So we took care of that. Where do you get the money to do that anyway? Again, is it any of your business? I'm not the one swinging around a pole with my ass up in the air begging for $5 tips. What you gonna do? Come after me like a baby Hayden? Huh? Can you even use your YouTube channel, Tasty Bonnie, anymore? Did you get on lockdown? Did those bitches put you on lockdown? Call the cops on you? Maybe you had to spend a little bit of time in jail for the bitch that you are, going around harassing people, making threats on them? Because you sure have been quiet on your page. Because only someone like you would say that Shimei was hiding dirty drug money under her shitty mattress. Yeah, right. Only you would say that. You blew your cover. I doubt it's a fat, ugly-looking troll sitting in a diaper in a wheelchair, bored as all heck, stalking me, okay? No, it's more like an insecure, half-brain dead human being that's so spiteful that they're going to dry up and be worse than a dry nut in the next, I give it 10 years. You can only be a stripper for so long, and then you're going to end up at the Penthouse. Do you know the Penthouse? Is that still downtown? You know what the Penthouse is all about, right? Old dried up strippers looking for tricks. Yeah. When they start booking you at the Penthouse, then you know you got a problem. Anyway, I'm just saying. Where do you get the money to do that anyway? You're on welfare. The government is the one paying for you to spend that money everywhere. That money is for you to take care of your grandkids. They're housed. They have food that can last for years, with or without having access to a grocery store. There's other people in the house that help when needed in different areas, not including what TeaSha does. So, yeah, everybody's good. Not to spend money you can't afford to spend. And who are you to determine that? I'd be worried about your $5 tips before I'd be worried about my money. Unless, of course, you're a different kind of troll on YouTube trying to make sure that your donations stay in your pocketbook. Because you're the YouTuber beggar of the freaking year looking to make those donations because that's the only way you can sustain yourself and brag on about what you've got in terms of material things. And you're afraid that maybe somebody from your camp might jump to my camp, and instead of donating to you, they might directly donate to Lady Jane, which will be cutting your grass. So before you allow that to happen, you got to come in and cut me up. Just saying. Because other than that, it's really none of your business. You know someone should report you to welfare. I've been audited on several occasions for different reasons, including the foundation. Doesn't scare me. Right? What they're gonna find? Frozen accounts? Accounts on dormant? Yeah, with $22.37 in it? If they don't know that information already? Yeah, okay. What you're doing, what are they gonna find? I have this credit card, this dollar amount, owing this dollar amount, this, that, everything else. I get a little bit of child support. Like, what are they going to find? They already know it. Right? It's what you do with it that matters. If I was sitting around, swinging around a pole, drinking myself to oblivion, then yeah, maybe I'd be a little concerned, but I don't do that. I'm actually making plans to fix my own frickin' porch. How about that? But while I fix my porch, I can appreciate the suffering of another person in another country having to sleep in a porch like that with a leaky roof with children inside. So yeah, I will go out of my way to help out a little bit, especially if the other person that's receiving it to do the work is sincere. But now we're coming into a hiccup, and we're going to get to it real soon. What you're doing is wrong. You're scamming welfare. No, I'm not. Nowhere does it say I have to spend this, this, and this, and this, and nowhere else, and that's it, and that's all. We don't have food stamps where I'm limited to buy only certain kind of food here. Okay? Like in the United States. They give you food stamps, and when you go to the grocery store, you're only allowed to buy certain kind of things. It's not like that here. If they, like the homeless people out here, they get something like $650, I think, per month for support, which includes their food for the month. So they go off and they take their $600 and they either go buy food or they buy drugs. It's their choice. They choose what they want to do, right? Well, you can say the same thing about me. Only thing is, I don't need to buy food. Instead, my last big spend was a few jars of, what is that, jerk spice, and the keg, chicken and rib and steak spice. That was my last big spend. Yeah, because I don't need it. There's milk in my fridge. I can prove it. Andre can go get me the jug of milk and I can show it to you. I buy 2 at a time. The only thing is the milk is disappearing off the shelves. Andre came back with walking off to the store with Uncle John for one of those uncle-nephew moments. Came back and said in Walmart they had absolutely no milk. Absolutely none. He got all freaked out. I told him don't worry about it. Because if worse comes to worse, I've got tons and tons and tons of whole milk powder and skim milk powder.
Uncle John Marcaine.
Oh, Uncle Marcaine. Sorry, Uncle John's on my mind. Yeah, Uncle John still has signing authority with HSBC Bank, which means it will just transfer over right to the Royal Bank of Commerce. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then if we click on that, it's going to come up as a dud. But I forgot to do that. Right? I forgot to do that. So in the meantime, I came in and I commented, because they like to troll my comment sections, right? It's nobody's business, but I can borrow money on a credit card. Cut back on paying bills. Doesn't mean I don't pay bills. It just means I cut back on the dollar amount that I pay. Or use child support payments to help vulnerable families in Uganda. And you have to remember, this is only temporary. What I'm doing with this Lady Jane is only temporary. I don't plan on making this a permanent bill for me, people. That's why I'm trying to encourage other people to jump on board and help her, right? To just make a difference, even if it's just for a little while, for a few families, right? I can't afford to give Lady Jane every month as if it was a freaking bill. But for the first few months, it helps. It makes a difference if you come hard in it, right? It's hardball, right? So anyway, if I want to. Or I can cut back on food prepping. Yeah, my food prep for this month was 4 containers of spice. That's it. I don't need to buy any more spice because I got tons of spices in jars vacuum sealed already in this house. Those were just something a little different, that's all. Outside of that, nah, I'm done. Seems to me someone is jealous, miserable, and selfish. That would be Tamika Johnson, Tasty Bonnie, AKA Tasty Bonnie. And somebody else in there that's probably related to the Duncan clan, Eleanor Gilding, who has no, like maybe a Debbie Duncan, right? Who has no life behind fake usernames. I already proved to you, we're dealing with somebody with a fake username. Because they can't come in with their real channel because they're already blocked. And because I didn't hide the person, they came in a day ago and they snuck in another comment, and of course I just posted it, right? Only they had to change. Now this is the same one that's been using the same crap for years. Anyway, just change it around a little bit. This came in on the May 9th, right? I am not jealous by any means, laughing out loud, but how can you borrow money on credit cards if you're saying they don't want your business because you're not paying your bills? Again, you're half brain dead. You don't listen. You like to twist the truth. You like to mislead people. You like to cause trouble. You're jealous. You're envious. You're sitting at a freaking dancer's pole waiting for a $5 tip and a trick to get you by till the next day, okay? I'm serious. And if it's not that, you're sitting in a wheelchair with a freaking diaper on, bored as all heck, stalking good people on the internet. I'm just saying. Or you're just one ugly-ass person that doesn't have a life. Anyway, we're pretty sure it has to do with Julian Johnson. Yeah. Tasty Bonnie. Yeah. Even if the guy was fat and ugly sitting in a wheelchair with a diaper on trolling my channel, I don't think he'd take the time to turn around and beat up on a dead woman that's been dead since 2018 who was murdered just to make a point and say, oh, her shitty mattress, her drugs under her shitty drug money. Yeah, right. No, take it up with ICBC, with fake ICBC car claims. Yeah, laundering money through the housing market for body parts. Yeah, it's not the Punjabis that just do it. No. And your 50,000 in the hole. No, it's more than 50,000. That's just what's on the books when it relates to the foundation. And because I guess my son would call me financially illiterate. He doesn't want to make the same mistakes as me. I don't blame him. No child support for them. Okay. And then, where are we? $50,000 in the hole. And what child support? All your kids are big. There's no child support for them anymore. Well, first of all, you're barren. Tasty Bonnie. Julian Johnson's sister. Tamika Johnson. We established that a long time ago. Barren as all hell. 28, 29 years old. Still no kids. There's something wrong with your insides, seriously. So you wouldn't know anything about child support, right? This is something that was established long before you were even born, bitch. And the government of British Columbia, Canada, is holding the fathers to account, even if it takes 20 years later to start collecting on that debt. Sierra might not be here, but Andre is. I don't get the money because of Sierra, because Sierra's dead now. And even when Sierra was alive, I was still getting the child support and investing it into the house, but mainly food. Food. Right? So you don't know what you're talking about. Go have a baby and figure it out. And then maybe you'll catch a clue. And you don't even know who. Now, here we're going into a Julian Johnson's sister verbal diarrhea at the mouth. And you don't even know who their daddies are. Plus, you're not married to them. They were your pimps. Okay. They won't give you child support. You have to pay taxes on child support. Well, not when you're on welfare, and it depends on the government. Under the BC Liberal government, if I got child support, which I did from time to time, it was dollar for dollar. So for every dollar that I got from child support was taken off of my welfare check. So if I got $10 from child support, $10 came off my welfare check. That was under the BC Liberal government. Right? Poverty pimping at its best. Right? Exploiting the most vulnerable in the province of British Columbia, Canada, through that manufactured poverty. And then along came the NDP, and they changed the rules where if you get child support, it doesn't matter if it's owed to you from 30 years ago or if it's owed from you yesterday. If you get it and you're on welfare, you get to keep it. And it's tax deductible. Nothing's deducted from your welfare check. You don't even claim it on your taxes because it's all done internally through the welfare office, through that particular ministry. Okay? Where's your proof? I don't know. Where's your proof? Hiding behind a fake user account. Just like the money you claim to be given to Uganda. Where your proof? You need proof for tax. Well, first of all, I already showed you I'm on Western Union here, which is now going to take me to the next part of this video. And I'm somewhat hesitant to do this, but, you know, I don't want to leave little Peter in the dust. I don't. Not at this point, you know. I mean, I never expected to have to take on the responsibility of being a sponsor, I suppose you could say, to a family in Uganda, where it was a monthly donation just to be able to sustain them because their government of Uganda was failing them. That was never my intentions. Although I do have intentions to try and rustle up more support for Lady Jane so that she can make it a little better for the mom, so that maybe the mom can start an independent entrepreneur type enterprise where she'd be in a better position to support her own family without having to depend on anybody, whether it's in her own community or outside of the country, to help her keep her kids and look after her kids so that her kids have a quality of living, right? I'm not in a position to be forwarding money to Lady Jane every month, whether it's $100, $200, or whatever it is. That's why I'm asking for a band of noble women to step up to the plate and to help, so it can, you know, be spread out. And then once that woman is situated and she has a goat and, you know, she's, right, her kids are in a proper bed with no leaky roof and they have enough food in the house and the mom is rested and, you know, and she gains her strength and, you know, she can sit down and reflect and maybe gets a sewing machine, and, you know, like she can find a way to make money in her own community, people, but not when the community itself is just pointing fingers at her, talking about her, whispering behind her back, waiting for her to fail. Where does that sound familiar? That's what goes on freaking YouTube. That's what goes on in the province of British Columbia, Canada. This woman isn't experiencing anything new or different. It's just the way people are. That's how they elevate themselves. Right? You have nothing, but yet you're putting down somebody that has little less than you, even though you yourself have nothing. Like, come on, grab a brain. Or you live in a nice house and you're running out somebody out of their house just so that you can, what, go get another house even though you already live in a nice house? Like, how many freaking houses do you need to have in order to feel like you have any self-worth? Right? So, where the tax proof comes in, and this is where I've been warning Lady Jane, if you keep receiving large donations, oh, my arm is starting to get tingly here. If you keep receiving large donations and you don't keep track of those large donations, and you willy-nilly just wash them away, sooner or later, I told you, somebody's going to come, federal government, some agency, some government worker through the tax department is going to come knocking on your door, and they're going to ask you to explain what you did with those donations. And you have to be able to prove it, you know, where you spent the money. And if you're not a charity of some kind, or in partnership with a charity of some kind, like a non-profit society of some kind, church, whatever, right? The government's going to classify that, even though it came in as a donation, it's going to classify it as a personal income. And you're going to have to pay taxes on your personal donation as a income. But if you spend it by, you know, putting on a roof for a vulnerable family, paying workers and all that other crap, and you've got receipts and whatnot to prove it, then the government won't tax you. But at some point, they are going to ask you to become a registered society of some point, or at least partner up with one where you have that paper trail. Okay? But as for me sending money to Lady Jane, I do not have to pay taxes on that. No. No, that's where Lady Jane needs to decide, is it personal or is it charitable? If it's charitable, then dot your I's, cross your T's, and be prepared to be accountable for it. If it's personal, then yeah, be prepared at some point, if you charge taxes in your country of Uganda, to pay taxes on it. But this individual is just a shit disturber. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. Now I have a pretty good idea where it's coming from. Right? You know someone should report you to welfare. What you're doing is wrong. You're scamming welfare. No, I'm not. If anything, I'm not getting my full benefits. I'm being sabotaged here because technically I'm legally blind. I filled out my disability form 2 times. Both times the government, well, more than 2 times, but in the last 6 months, we'll say, right? I filled out my disability form 2 times. And both times the provincial government denied them because of what Dr. Wyszynski has done, where I can't get my family doctor to fill out the other part of that disability form. And because I can't get the other part of that disability form filled out, I am not receiving my full welfare benefits. So actually, I'm saving the government lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money because they're not giving me the full disability benefits that I'm entitled to, even though I am legally blind. Because the government itself, the province of British Columbia, Canada, doesn't want to deal with the corruption within the healthcare system where they foster illegal organ harvesting for profit. If the government would have done the right thing when everything went to court, none of this would be an issue. I'm waiting for that other doctor to call me up and say, yeah, I'm ready to be your doctor. I'll take you as a patient. I'll have your paperwork forwarded over from Dr. Wyszynski so, you can come see me and we can discuss what needs to be done in whatever capacity. And I'd be like, well, here, can you fill out the other part of my disability form, even though I've got 2 eye specialists signing out that part, confirming that I'm legally fucking blind here? And then I can go on to long-term disability and get my full benefits. So some little trampy troll, trampy, a dancer with no fucking class, sorry, boo-boo class, a dancer, a stripper with no freaking class can come in, or some troll sitting in a diaper with no integrity of any kind can come and accuse me of this and accuse me of that. Whatever. Okay, so now that we got, and then of course we know this is Tamika Johnson, just with this shit, because only she would say something like this, unless of course it's one of her friends, one of her quote unquote girlfriends. Okay, we're looking at a run-on sentence here, people. Where does it begin? Here it is. People need to start listening to what you say. It just doesn't make sense. I think the money that you magically get is your daughter Shemai's drug money that was probably hidden under her shitty mattresses. That's something Julian Johnson's sister would do. All right. Okay. So Western Union, it logged out on me. That's what happened. That's what happens. All right. So now, I'm going to do this. I'm getting kind of tired, but you know what? Like I said, everything kind of went off to a... I've been listening to this individual, that Raw Squad crap. Seriously, man. Never changes. Never, ever changes. You think I run at the mouth. I ain't begging for funds. And I'm not cutting up other YouTubers, per se, to do it. Outside of the person who injured my daughter. Yeah. Well, it was more than just injure. Right? It was more like murder. All right. So now this is where it gets funky. And then I'm going to end this video. Because I really do feel bad for little Peter, his sisters, mom, whatever. Right? I do. Okay, we're back on this woman's page. And like I said, we were two ships that were passing in the night. I don't know what I was thinking, people. Okay, I just know that, like I said, my time is coming to an end here when it comes to anything that I'm doing because of my eyesight, right? These are going to get lost and buried in the fray because she refuses to make a playlist. And, you know, she asked me if what she's doing now in terms of her content, if it was, I don't know, appropriate or something like that. And I said, well, first of all, it's not my place to tell you what to do on your channel. And, you know, God forbid, I sit there and talk about illegal organ harvesting and all that crap, and I beat up on my government, so who am I to tell you what to talk about? I'm not. But I do highly recommend that you take these videos, or similar videos, any kind of videos that are outside of your more recent topic, which I'm not going to really make comment on other than it can get kind of lewd. Because she's, you know, referring to penises as big sticks. Like, come on. Right? Like, whatever. Like, it's suspicious, Lady Jane. I don't care how you cut it. Right? I know you thinking to be, and look at, right? Look how fast her numbers are going up. By being somewhat kind of lewd. I'm wondering if she's got a back page in there somewhere. Like, what is that? OnlyFans? And it's kind of strange, though, because with her backdrop, you know, all you hear is kids, because she's like around, I don't know, like she, like maybe she's in an orphanage or something and helping out. But there seems to be always a lot of kids running around, a lot of noise, and roosters are crowing, and, you know, and like when you go into her previous videos, you know, you can see how she lived, or where she's staying, or what. Like, she's not giving the full story here. You know, she says this is her village, but then she says that the people she comes into contact with don't speak her language. And I'm like, well, how does that work? If this is your village, how come you all don't speak the same language, and or whatever? Or there's holes popping up, right? And so anyway, with the gang stalking coming in from me, now clearly, like I said, you know, we can almost guarantee that it's Julian Johnson's TeaSha Chorney AKA Tasty Bonnie, who is still stalking me after all these years since Shimei has died, right? Just poking the bear, doing whatever, right? I mean, it could be a Latrice Allen follower or a Raw Squad follower trying to keep the donations in that direction versus donations going towards Lady Jane. Because I'm not asking for donations. I don't need donations, people. Okay? That's not what I'm trying to do here. All right. So, but I advise, Lady Jane, now that you kind of went off onto left field here, and the subject matter is kind of crude, slightly lewd, depending on the subject, right? And it makes you think that there's a back page in there, or an OnlyFans page, you just got to find it and tap into it, which becomes her personal private life, which becomes her personal income, which she will eventually at some point more than likely have to pay taxes, unless people in Uganda don't pay taxes, but I don't know that. Well, she's got this only because of what she used to do. There's that two ships passing. Because if I would have known that she was going to be doing this stuff, I don't even think this subject would be up right now. Because I kind of want to distance myself from it. Especially with what she just said to me more recently through email. Because I sent her an email warning her that the trolls are coming out of the bushes, more than one, because we're not too sure about apologetically whatever that number is, who lurks for the last 4 years, accusing me of being a scammer, but yet won't come in and explain themselves. Right? As the other troll, who could be that same person for all I know, in partnership with TeaSha Johnson, a.k.a. Tasty Bonnie, trolling me. And I know how TeaSha Johnson will roll if this girl gets too involved with me, and it looks like we're getting successful at something, other people jumping on, we'll say Deb apologized for misconstruing, over jumping the fence, jumping, she suggested maybe Lady Jane was scamming me for love from Nigeria or a place like that, some kind of scam. And then we backtracked on it after I did my video, explained my side, and then Deb came back in and said, I apologize, I jumped the gun. I'm only concerned about you, but I listened to what you have to say, and I told Deb, right? Vlog Nana. I said, just forward any resource information you got. You can either forward it to me or you can forward it to her directly, because she is a public figure. She provides a public Gmail address. She provides links through Western Union or whatever, WhatsApp or whatever, to make a donation, whether it's personal or whether it's to help the children. But she's young. So, how wide open her eyes are in terms of the perils of being a public speaker on YouTube, of all things, yet? Oh my God. You got a lot coming, Lady Jane. You're just starting. And especially with the subject matter that you're bringing to the surface here. Like, you got any trolls coming? Trust me, it probably has nothing to do with me at this point. No, I don't think so. If you got trolls coming on you, you probably had trolls on your channel before I even showed up. But with me now with my channel, bringing you into my fray, doing what we've been doing, yeah, it makes people like Tasty Bonnie and perhaps unapologetically whoever that person is, because they used to have videos of them showing their face, and I remember, that's why I subscribed, because she was a legitimate YouTuber. I was just showing her the support. I didn't cast no judgments, nothing. And then she fell off the freaking grid. And I forgot about her until she showed up and accused me of being a scammer, but won't explain herself, as she's hiding and lurking in the bushes. Yeah, okay. Well, that's not Lady Jane. She's putting her face out there, so she becomes a target. And because she's already done community activism, that makes her even a bigger target for one degree or another. And if you're dealing with me, because we've got that Tasty Bonnie with, a half-baked brain, right, that wants to go around destroying everything in her sight just so that she can feel like she's in control, right, for whatever sick reason, then yeah, it's going to filter over. And I warned her through Gmail, if you start getting harassed, because I'm thinking of what Tamika did to Truth for Reality, I'm thinking what she did with Tommy, I'm thinking what she did with Tiffany Draper, I'm thinking what she did with Tammy Smith, or anyone else that she approaches and starts harassing, because she doesn't want me to be successful on YouTube. She wants me to be afraid of her trolling antics so that she can what? Sit in my back alley, plot and scheme how she's going to take me out with her stupid friends? Like, come on. When she's not hanging around a dancer pole, waiting for tips, thinking she's some badass dancer when she's more like a SLUT. Okay, I'm just saying. So I warned her, don't be surprised if it doesn't start trickling your way, because it's like coming in hardcore on my way. But then this is just par and parcel of being on YouTube, and YouTube doing nothing about freaking trolls. Absolutely nothing, because it brings in freaking revenue for them when it comes in with those ads. Especially with the bigger channels, with the Raw Squad and the Latrice Allens and those kind of people beating up on each other constantly. You got Raw Squad. You think I swear? Go to Raw Squad's channel and listen to her. And she's swearing left, right, and center. She got some whippersnapper freaking verbal diarrhea with the fuck this and boo-boo that and blah, and YouTube is slapping on ad after ad after ad after ad after ad after ad, and the black women are just lapping it up. And then when she does her donation drives, God knows how much money she makes. But do you think she'd take a couple hundred, $1,000 and send it to Lady Jane? Hell no. But now, if these women come and they look at the subject matter that Lady Jane is talking about, well, they might not want to make a donation now because it's kind of veered off to that left field. You know? But whatever. I told Lady Jane it's none of my business.
Can I go get you? I'll be fast.
Can you wait? I'm almost done.
Where's pencil done?
Okay, hurry up. These are going to get buried because she refuses to put them into a playlist. So anyway, I'm going to finish this here in a minute. I told her, if for any reason you start getting harassed by Julian Johnson's sister coming in under their fake usernames, and it disturbs you through comments and whatever she does, just report it to YouTube. Keep a log of it. All right. Then she emailed me back the next day, and she starts going on about how she doesn't want the hassle. Yeah. She starts going on about how she doesn't want the hassle. Right? Where are we at here? She starts going on about how she doesn't want the hassle. She's just a young woman. Blah, blah, blah. Right? And then she suggests, and this is where it gets even more funkier for me, people. Because I'm already kind of like, you know, like, pictures do speak 1,000 words, but I am dealing with a complete stranger here that isn't being completely honest either. And not that she has to tell me everything that she's doing. Like, you're talking about big sticks giving men advice about what women want behind a curtain with a bunch of African poor children running around making noise with a rooster in the background. Okay. Because you know that will attract more viewers. Like, her subscriber count is going up. Because her sister and other people around her are helping her to network into other sites that are drawing in all these subscribers to whom you can guarantee some of them are going to be trolls that have nothing to do with me. So even if you kick me to the curb, because I got my trolls coming in wanting to troll you now, because they don't want you to be successful by oppressing what I'm doing, just because you kick me to the curb doesn't mean you're not going to get more trolls coming in from somewhere else, being that your numbers are going up 100 subscribers a day, basically. Because that's what's been going on here since she started her new topic. But as she's going on about big sticks and other lewd things, these things that are important when it comes to real lives are being buried and are disappearing like a dirty secret. As she's now telling me through email, and this is the point of this video, I know it took a long time to get there, that she's just a young woman and she doesn't want the hassle. And I'm like, as if I want the fucking drama, being accused of committing a scam here on your behalf? Like, yeah, okay. As if I haven't had enough crap go on with YouTube. I need this now, like I need a freaking hole in the head, when all I ever wanted to do was just, one, help you, help the children, as well as help you to be a better community activist and be able to attract more support within your community, like DJs and all these other things, where you can actually do a better job at being charitable. But I don't know. I don't know what she does behind the curtain there. All I know is there's always kids running around making a bunch of noise with roosters in the background. And it looks like they live in a bush with basically shanty shacks, where some of them are better than others. But at the end of the day, it's not like living in a freaking city. And even then, you got shanty shacks in freaking cities. Because I know, I've lived in them. right? And then she comes back and she says, oh, I can't deal with it, blah, 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 so if you're going to give to me in terms of a donation, just don't post it on YouTube. Don't talk about it. And I'm like, and then she goes on to say, I'm not going to read the email, but that's what she said in her email, right? And then she goes on to say that she's got some German dude sitting up in Germany somewhere, some man that sends her money all the time to pay some woman's rent. And then I remind her that I'm not a man looking to pay somebody's rent. Which makes me think of freaking OnlyFans in light of big sticks. Right? And I'm like, give your head a shake. This woman owes you nothing. You owe this woman nothing. Right? You did a good deed. It didn't work. Well, it did work out, but you're not obligated to support that family with little Peter for the rest of your life until you're dead, just so that Peter can make it through life, because it doesn't look like his community is helping out too much. Clearly, they're all too busy casting stones at the mother, ostracizing the family, and watching them basically shrivel away into nothing so that they can elevate themselves in their poor community, as people do in any community, because we got that shit going on here in British Columbia, Canada, with the Punjabis elevating themselves as they exploit the less below them under that caste system. Why do you think my freaking, what do you call those things, are gone? My certificates from my foundation is gone. Who throws out official foundation certificates? Unless, of course, there's an agenda behind it. Oh, they could be misplaced, but I highly doubt that. I'm sure hoping I get them back. Thank God Riley showed back up at the scene, because now I can deal with important things with somebody that's actually responsible. I'm just saying. Actions speak louder than words, right? So I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm not some man going to send money to house anybody or to continue doing what I'm doing just because I'm a community activist. What did I call myself? I said something about not being your regular YouTuber, right? I don't need to have 112,000 subscribers in order to feel important and brag on about what I got, in order to have self-worth. I'm kind of like an Albert Einstein. I don't need money in order to feel like I have self-worth. Not everything in my life matches up. And yeah, I can look pretty deceivable from quite a bit, considering my circumstances in terms of being that workhorse. But at the end of the day, I said, obviously, your idea of charity work is different than my idea of charity work, because I took it to a whole new level where I did have official paperwork, still do have official paperwork, still have official board directors, whether they're negligent or not, active or not, or whatever, right? And my heart is still in the right spot with the right foot forward, trying to spread goodwill in a community that is basically apathetic. And now that it's waking up, finally, it's starting to wake up, and they're starting to care about their own kind of people, in terms of each other, and waiting for the next mission. What, the floor? You want me to pay for the floor, but not tell my subscribers, not tell Deb that I paid for the floor that woman asked for? You want me to put it away like a dirty secret so that you don't have to be harassed on fucking YouTube? Sorry, boo-boo YouTube, as you're bringing out the big stick dick? Telling men, not even telling women, that that's what they like? And you know what? When you said that, Jane, all I could think about was big stick could equal to RAPE by a bunch of freaking gangbangers. Because I don't personally see what you're doing to be helpful for women. I don't. Because you're demoralizing us. And I'm not even black. Okay? But I am a woman. And that's you're doing for self-gain. So what? You can get donations coming in from the black men that join your channel, and then you can go and do another one of those, and then tell them to keep it on the down low, give you donations behind the scenes because the trolls are coming in and you can't deal with it because you're a young woman on YouTube going on talking about big fucking dicks. Sorry, boo-boo dicks. For views. As you're asking me to donate undercover and not talk about what I'm doing because you can't handle the stress of it, that it might attract one of my trolls. Never mind, you probably already have your own. And if you don't, with your subject matter, you're definitely going to get them. Because that's all part and parcel of being on YouTube and a public freaking speaker. Why do you think apologetically so-and-so took down her videos and lurks in the bushes now? Because she probably couldn't handle the heat with all the freaking trolls coming in bombarding her. Because you gotta have thick skin in order to be able to deal with the crap. Because it doesn't go away like a TeaSha Johnson AKA Tasty Bonnie. Right? That's what I mean. There's a difference between what you consider to be charitable acts compared to what I consider to be charitable acts. Okay. I told her I don't want to be played like some man. I don't. However, I am worried for the children. And I feel really bad. I don't want to say I'm turning my back on little Peter and his family, because it's little Peter is the weakest link. It's not the mother. She can dig. She's got a strong body. I know she's tired, but she's a capable, able-bodied woman to do whatever she's got to do, even though her whole community is casting stones at her, calling her down, whispering behind her back, going out of their way not to help her. You know, she hanging in there like a dirty shirt, trying to provide for her children to the best of her ability, okay? But it's little Peter and his siblings who I'm most worried about in light of the community that they live in and the type of economy that they live in terms of even as to what represents them. Right? You want my donations. You know where it's coming from. I'm not your regular YouTuber. Okay? I've been a public freaking community activist on YouTube since 2009. Am I successful? Well, I suppose not in YouTube freaking standards. But when it comes to an Albert Einstein feeling comfortable with myself, yeah. I ain't sweating it. I don't need a lot of money in order to feel successful, but I'm also not stupid, and I'm not going to let people just play me so that I can feel like I belong or that I'm making a difference. However, so I told her, to be clear, I'm not going to send no more donations at this point. If that's the way you feel, you want me to donate to you, but not tell my viewers that I'm continuing on with my donations because you can't deal with the trolls coming in from TeaSha Johnson and others like her, Tasty Bonnie, because you're just a young woman trying to what? What are you trying to do here? Get donations? You told me you're doing this so that you can get more subscribers, so that you can make more money to help the kids, but yet the people coming to you with the money for the kids, you're telling to not tell nobody about it, even though you damn well know I've been on YouTube since 2009, and I've been doing nothing but fight for the community. So much so that I went off and I bought a freaking Uganda flag, which I'll probably get tomorrow. And what am I going to do with that flag now? Oh, my grandson's got it all figured out. He does. He said, well, you put it there, Nana. You get a flag so it moves around. You know, turn on a disco ball, something, and do your video with the flag moving around. My grandson wants me to put a fan so that the flag can move around as I'm talking about whatever it was that I thought I was trying to do by helping Lady Jane. As she's telling me to put everything on lockdown like a dirty fucking secret just so that she can keep doing what she does without being harassed. As if she's not going to attract her own damn trolls. Like, how does that make any sense? It doesn't. And then still not make a playlist. Because she's burying her shit. keeping it there to make it look like or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, you're getting what? I don't know. But I already logged into Western Union. I told her I was going to send $110 before this all happened. All I tried to do was warn her, right? If Tasty Bonnie or anyone like that starts to troll you on my behalf, not your trolls that you're attracting for yourself in light of your subject matter, because you know you're going to attract them one way or another. Can't blame me for that. I'm not the one up there talking about the things you're talking about here. But if the ones come from my channel onto your channel, which is all part and parcel of YouTube, everybody's got that problem. You're not insulated from that problem, right? Then yeah, just report it. Business as usual. Keep moving forward. But don't expect me to become your dirty secret so that you can... What? What? Oh, you're allowed to post another video saying MamaLynn? New National? No, it's not New National. It's New Nations with an S. Unity. Are you going to come in and do another video with the $110 to say you went back to see the mom? You checked on the little girl's eye? Because I pointed that out to you. And you gave him a little bit more food? And maybe a toy truck for Peter. And a little doll for the little girl. And an extra toy for another child. I don't know. Right? I'm sure it doesn't cost that much money to buy a few toys. Right? You going to do a follow-up video and insert it somewhere in the middle of this without putting it into a playlist? Or are you just going to take the money, go off and do it, but not record it because you want to hide MamaLynn now like some dirty secret because you can't handle the trolls coming in from my channel? As I'm fighting hard on your behalf so that the women on my side gain trust. Right? Someone like Deb, who was tepid at first, that maybe in a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or even 6 months down the line say, yeah, okay, I'm ready to make a donation. Because Deb has lots of responsibilities. She's got 9 grandchildren that she, you know, has to send out to because she doesn't get to see them because they live in different states. So anything she does for her grandkids, she has to put it in the mail. That costs money. So before she's going to give to you, because I asked her to help you with little Peter and his family, right? She can look after her family. But maybe in 6 months from now, if everything was going good, then yeah, I could see Deb doing it. I could see Deb swinging you $100 or $200 to top off somewhere else down the line 6 months from now. Maybe even Shelly. Maybe even Lucy. We know we had TeaSha on board. Right? You knew I wasn't going to drop the ball. I just can't make the commitment of being that man that can pay the rent every fucking month as if I was on a back page looking at an OnlyFans profile. Okay? This is where you're on a slippery slope with your new subject matter. But I talk about illegal organ harvesting. I'm nobody to cast judgment. It's not for me to tell you how to run your channel. However, I do highly recommend you bring in a playlist so you can separate whatever from this and make it easier for people to find it. Otherwise, they're going to have to go through all this first in order to find it, and unless of course, that's what you want. And why you'd choose this over this, I don't understand it. Other than you're going towards the direction of a Roz Squad and a Latrice Allen to where it's going to consume you and you're going to lose yourself. Yeah. And whatever you think is charitable will ultimately mean very little. Especially when you have to hide it away like a dirty secret just so that you can continue keeping the donations coming in without being harassed. But I am true to my word. I told you I was going to give you an extra $110 this month. That's all I can afford. I told you I was going to squeeze it in. to finish a little more on the wish list for Peter's family. Not for Mom, but for Peter, little Peter. Right? Who everybody is pointing the finger at and laughing at in his own community. Waiting for bad things to happen so they got something to go back home and talk about when they're eating their own damn dinners, as those children are basically going hungry. Okay? And don't think it doesn't happen like that out here in British Columbia, Canada, or anywhere else on the Western world, because it does. Right? So this situation isn't unique. But then on the other hand, I don't know. So I'm going to send it, Lady Jane, and you take it. I don't care. You don't want to do a follow-up video on it because I butt hurt your feelings. So be it. If you're going to be on YouTube for any length of time, talking on about the things that you're talking on about, especially now, you better be prepared to get butt hurt, because somebody's going to come along and troll you if they haven't already, and it will have nothing to do with me. Okay? So I suppose in that situation, when you're ready to not deal with it, what, you're going to delete your whole page and then just disappear into the abyss and never be heard from again? Take what you can get and run? Is that it? Like, I don't know. I just know that I don't want to just be a bitch myself, say something, and then turn around and turn my back on children. I don't. Although I can't make the commitment of being a man that's in a good financial position to continue to support those children on a monthly basis, because basically they have an apathetic freaking community with an apathetic freaking federal government that basically will just let that woman fall flat on her face until such time her children are scooped up and put into a freaking orphanage, so that those funds that should have went to the mom under a welfare system are being forwarded to that situation where mom gets separated from her kids. I don't want to see that happen for that family. Because I seen another one of your videos down here where you were talking to some old woman with a little girl, that somebody came and just dropped off the little girl, right? And she's asking for help, right? And you were talking about something about an orphanage. What were you thinking? To put the little girl in an orphanage? Like, come on. And leave the grandma sit there with nothing? The old woman with nothing? I don't know. It's one thing being a social butterfly, right? And it's another thing actually being a real bona fide 100% true freaking community activist that is like walking on the right fucking feet here. And you don't ask your donors, especially when they're YouTubers, to go on lockdown and submit themselves to being dirty secrets just so that you don't get harassed. Even though you've opened yourself up for harassment just by the very subject matter that you brought to the table. So, do I make the $110 donation and just cut what? My losses? Has it become a loss now? Can I depend on you to do a follow-up video with or without a chip on your shoulder? Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough to do a follow-up video with that $100 just to show that you are transparent? Or are you just going to shut me up and lock me away like a dirty secret and spend that money where? With the family? And then expect me to feel sorry for the family in 2 months from now, knowing that they're probably running out of food and their community isn't helping them? Well, you're too busy behind freaking chickens and children talking about big sticks? Because that's what it sounds like. Put yourself in a freaking sound room, for crying out loud. You know, build a sound room. Right? But it's your channel, do what you want. Again, I'm not here to throw stones. I'm here to help the kids. So if I send you the $100 after I end this video, it's only because of little Peter. If it wasn't for little Peter, it would be harder for me to pull myself away. But I'm definitely not doing this next month. No. Maybe in a month or 2 or 3 if things iron themselves out. But at the end of the day, I've been a community activist way too freaking long. I've had too many people freaking shit on me for stupid fucking reasons. Sorry, boo-boo reasons, right? I've got too many people always trying to sabotage me, right? You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't got that many years left. And, you know, I bought a Uganda flag here. I'm going to be checking into booking a park. You know what I'm saying? I told you if I book a park and we do a park event, I'll make sure some way, somehow we can do a live stream. You can post it on YouTube. I can post it on YouTube. See, TeaSha has a cell phone. I got a laptop. You know, maybe you're not here in Canada at the park event, but your flag would have been flying proud. Okay? Right? And maybe after the park, after doing those kind of videos with live stream and everything else, then people like maybe Deb, Shelly, Lucy would have came in September, October, November, and maybe forward you a few more dollars for the, you know, little Peter and his family, for the little 11-year-old girl. And that's assuming that you're even in the neighborhood, right? Because you're talking about leaving the village. You're not being specific about it, but when I asked you, are you leaving? Are you staying? Are you, like, are you going to go to a, like, you know, are you going to the United States to abandon your community? You know, go get rich in the USA, never look back? Or are you wanting to help your community? No, I want to stay. This is my community. It's my village. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying here. Okay, well, that's good. If you're staying there, then yeah, I will really seriously think about helping you. But I can only help you for so long, right? I'm a poor woman. Clearly, I get cut up for it. You can see that. I'm on welfare. I ain't nobody special here, right? And because I do work on a nonprofit, there's no shame to my game. Right? If Deb wants to make a donation, she can do that to you directly. Same thing for Shelly. Same thing for anybody that's on my channel. Right? But you have to gain their trust first. Doing a park event, having your flag flying around in the background, with your little playlist in there, with your live stream hooked up to my live stream, with Mom doing really well now with her goat, would have been, you know, a good way to gain the trust of those women to further help you with your endeavors, whatever they are. But we're all confused now. Now we're confused. We don't know what your endeavors are anymore, especially when you tell your donors to stay quiet and not say anything about it, even though you damn well know I'm a public entity, whether I like it or not. And you see, that's the thing. That's what federal trademarks bring. Canada and United States of America, right? That's what legitimate nonprofits bring, even though accounts are on dormant. And you got trolls coming in, accusing you of that and accusing you and bringing in this and whatever. No? That's why I give you advice, Lady Jane. So, yeah, I'm on the fence. If I make the $110 donation, the only thing that would prevent me from making it would be rejection from Lady Jane. In other words, she's mad at me now because I called her out, right? After she watches this video, she'll be like, that was not a nice video. The first one was okay, but this one I don't like. But she still sent me $110. Why? But I don't like her no more, so I'm not taking it. Yeah, but I didn't give it to you for you, Lady Jane. I gave it to you for little Peter and his family to just at least top off on a few things. And, you know, you have a little bit of money for some medicine for that little girl if you need it for her eyes. That's it. I can't guarantee that I can do it next month because technically I can't. I got some bills to pay, right? And especially with the situation here at hand, right? You know, I'm butthurt. Just like you're butthurt, well, I'm butthurt, okay? Because this, to me, is not a game. Right? This is serious. I've been playing hardball from the moment I registered my foundation. And I get people coming into my life taking my freaking certificates that are in picture frames with glass, for crying out loud, and not bringing them back and acting like, who are you? Well, I don't know. Who am I? Anything to avoid giving me back what belongs to me in terms of the foundation certificates. Okay? right? Telling me you're going to show up to the bank to put your John Henry down so you can be a signing board director to the foundation when it comes to bank accounts, and then not show up. But Riley and I were sitting there with the bank manager for an hour and a half waiting for you. Thank God, Riley is still a signing board director. Yeah. Because now that I remembered that, I can deal with that problem. Yeah. I don't have to go grovel. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video on this. I try and keep to my word. Okay, the children shouldn't have to suffer over YouTube beefing, wherever that beef comes from. Okay, for whatever reason. All right. Now this is the way I'm going to deal with it. I am going to send Lady Jane another $110 Canadian. You can see that. That's what it is in shillings in Uganda money. Okay, you can see that. Then they charge me a fee for $6.90. The reason I'm sending her $110 is because I'm giving her that extra $10 to be able to pick it up on her side so that she doesn't have to dig into her own pocket. Well, she does, but she gets it back, right? And then this way she's got at least a full $100, I'm assuming, to spend as follow-up for Peter and his family, for little Peter. Okay, and that's including if the little girl needs to go see a doctor and maybe get an eye drop or something for her eye. Okay, I don't care what Lady Jane does with it. Okay, Lady Jane, I know you're watching this video, right? You go buy a mattress. If you think you can afford it, then buy it. Or if you can buy a little more food, you buy it. But outside of this will be my last donation for a couple of months anyway. Okay, just so that things can either come to a close and we're two ships that passed, and you go that way and I go that way and we never see each other again, or, you know, we pick up in a couple of months from now. I'm going to give it 2 months anyway, right? And then if, you know, something happens and, you know, they're running out of food and there's no safety net there for them, you know, you can always call me up, email me and say, hey, MamaLynn, you know, the mom is suffering and no, the kids have no food again and the community's not stepping up to the plate, and, you know, can you swing me an extra $50, $100 even, just so that we can take some beans and rice to them? I'd do that, no problem. But I would expect, considering who I am, to have that follow-up video. Because that's how you will end up building trust long-term, if you plan on being a long-term YouTuber, okay? To have these donations come in. But they come with the same warning. You better be prepared to protect yourself, okay? Right? This is not a personal donation. This is for little Peter and his family, right? And then in a couple of months from now, we'll see where things are at. We'll see what's going on. And then if we can pick back up with the wish list, because everything ironed itself out again, then great, we'll do that. Because I think it would be great for Mom to have some opportunities to be able to build in a safety net for herself without depending on you or me. Okay, you can see, right? Where she can support her own family without having to wait for donations to come in. Okay, so now I'm going to push continue. I'm already there, right, with what I got going here. And then it tells you here, protect yourself from fraud. Okay, I don't think Lady Jane is running a movie set here. I just think, yeah, perhaps she is young. And, you know, she's still trying to figure things out. And I'm sure her intentions are good, but at the end of the day, so I accept this. I do this with no coercion. Nobody's forcing me to do this. I'm doing this on my own accord. Okay? So receives from country you selected. This is her name. Choose a receiver. So I choose her. I only got one. I only support you, Lady Jane. Okay, there's her email. She has that open on her channel. You can contact her directly if you want to. Okay. Add new card. No, I don't need to. Okay. We're going to continue. This is for Peter. His eyes should get checked too. They're looking a little sleepy. What happened here? So, there's my address. Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Okay? Same shit on my nonprofit. This is not coming from the nonprofit. This is coming from me personally. My big shop for the month was 4 things of spice. That was it. That's all I bought at the grocery store. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm actually having addiction in terms of I want to go buy something at Walmart because I've been doing it for so long that I'm used to it. But I'm like, no, slow down, stop. You don't need it. Just break away from the addiction. Right? Other things to do now. Maybe a park event. Right? But I know Riley will help me pay for that when the time comes, if I can actually get it booked properly. It has to be done properly, though. Okay, so I've done the review. What am I doing here? Oh, my Lord. Okay. What am I missing? Oh, I have to put my CV number in. So hold on a minute. All right, so I put that there. Now it should work. Continue to review. Is this the proof you were looking for, troll? Are you jealous that you can't do it? Is that it?
Can't do what?
Send a donation to complete strangers in a different country and feel good about yourself that you're actually making a difference in people's lives and that you're not a selfish human being on a me mission. Okay? I don't know how much that's going to buy her. Hopefully it'll be a mattress and a little bit of food and get children eye medication if they need it. And a couple of toys. Little truck for Peter and another truck if there's another little boy and a couple of little girl toys they can share between themselves. Right? So it cost me $6.90 to send it. I gave her an extra $10. So hopefully she'll have a full $100 in Canadian funds to just go tell the mom that's it. MamaLynn can't afford no more right now. Right? The floor is on the back burner. Okay? It has to be on the back burner until things are figured out, iron themselves out, or maybe another donor comes in and helps Lady Jane to finish up with whatever she's working on there. Maybe somebody from that group of men who more than likely will have more money than I will and won't be trolled like me will help Lady Jane to follow up with the floor and anything else that family needs, or the little girl or whoever Lady Jane is helping at that time. Or in a couple months from now, if it looks like it ain't going nowhere and those children are really hungry, well, you know, Lady Jane can always send me an email and say, MamaLynn, can you swing me $100 so I can go off and buy a bag of this and a bag of that? And yeah, I'll do my little follow-up video, and I'll be saying the same thing that I'm saying right now, people. We need a whole bunch of noble women to jump on board and make this work. Because I can't make it work by myself, especially when I'm being stalked by freaking trolls. And I can't make it work if Lady Jane is afraid to be, you know, to grow some thick skin and deal with the trolls that are going to come in, whether they come in on her own accord or whether they're trickling in because of me. It's just a fact of life. Okay, so payment method, debit card to Uganda. You can see that. Delivery by cash pickup. She has to pick it up. right? So, and she has to pay. Available in minutes. Right? Sender, Judy Chorney. You got that. Okay? Doing it through MasterCard. And then we've got the recipient, who is Lady Jane. I already showed you her email. And then by clicking send, you agree. Yeah, I already done it. This is my 3rd time. But I won't be doing this for a couple of months now until things iron themselves off and these trolls give them their heads a shake. Seriously. Okay, you ready, people? Now you have to remember, I told Lady Jane I wasn't sending her no more money because, you know, I wasn't some man being, you know, I don't like being played.
I'm pretty sure no one does.
Nobody likes to be played. Okay, Judy, your money is on the way. Oh yeah, and then after you do that, you get these little pop-ups. That's how I got that Hello Fresh, which I normally call Hello Kitty. And that was a scam in a kind of roundabout way, because what it said on the pop-up isn't what was going on. As a matter of fact, I should phone up my bank and make sure that they're not still taking out money for things that I don't want, right? I should never have gotten the Hello Fresh, but they said this, that, and I didn't like it. I canceled it. Because they just went in there and started taking up money out of my account. And that's not the way it was supposed to be. And then they give her a tracking number. So what I do is I now copy and paste that, and I email her with it so that she has a copy of it, so that when she goes to pick it up, she has no problems. So I'm probably going to name this video Butthurt. Butthurt. Who's butthurt? Maybe who is butthurt? I know Lady Jane is butthurt. And I'm butthurt. We're both butthurt. Is the troll going to be butthurt for me cussing them out? Probably not, because they feed off of it. That's what they like, Lady Jane. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If it comes your way, whether it's because of me and what we're doing together, or whether it's because of your new subject matter and what it kind of represents in the great grand scheme of things, right? You know, sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with trolls. You can't just play the victim card and say, oh, I'm just some nice young woman trying to do something, when you're talking about big sticks. Come on, think about it. You know, it kind of scares me, really, because, you know, for as grand as you're trying to make African men sound, they're not necessarily a catch. A catch. If you come to Canada, not too many Canadian women, regardless of their ethnic heritage, want African men, and there's a reason for it. Whether they got big sticks or not. A lot of it has to do with attitude. They'll go for the Jamaican before they'll go for the African. Yeah. I'm just saying. So you're walking a fine line with what you're doing here. Because it kind of frightens me for women. Because it's not like African women don't have enough troubles and enough hardship. I mean, come on. That mom with those little children all by herself, it sounds, the way you made it sound like, is like the whole community was just kind of like a pack of hyenas just waiting for her to fall so that they could devour what was left, without just really stopping to think about that they're the weakest link of their community, and it's the weakest link which is the strongest link, right? You know, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and that's why I gave you this extra $110 so that you can go back, check up on the little girl's eye, look at Peter's eyes, because on his eyes, you know, he's got a lot of folds underneath the eyes, so maybe he's a little dehydrated or something, or maybe he's got too much dust in his eyes because he's close down to the ground. And be sure to tell the mom that it's no disrespect, and not that I don't care, but I can't afford to keep, you know, forwarding money every month, because I do have other responsibilities that are technically quite expensive in my world compared to, say, maybe your world, right, that I need to deal with. Plus, I don't want to take on the, I don't want to say burden, because it's not the burden. I don't want to take on the responsibility of becoming Uganda's welfare system for at least one or two families where there are no other resources for those two families to tap into outside of looking towards MamaLynn to fill in the gap. I'm just not capable of doing that, and that's why I'm trying to bring in some of my subscribers, Lady Jane, to fill in the gaps, to spread it out as you do what you're doing. But so far, anything that I've been listening to in your videos, you're not asking donations from all these new subscribers that you're getting. Okay? You're getting 100 subscribers almost a day. So however you're networking out to get those subscribers, I don't know. All I know is that you want me to donate to you on the down low as if I was a dirty secret, just so that you don't get trolled by freaks on my end, even though you're opening up yourself for a whole lot of freaks to come in on your end. To me, that doesn't make any sense. And while you're doing that, you're not asking these people that you're talking to give you donations openly, like when you were down here doing these videos. Because if you wouldn't have done these videos, whatever they are, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be talking about this. I wouldn't be involved. I wouldn't be having people attacking me, accusing me of something. All right. Here we go. Do you see? Where are we? Where's my finger?
I'm just making...
There it is. Do you see? Do you see? Western Union.
Hungry?
Judy Lynn, your money transfer ready for pickup. So now we go to Lady Jane's page, email, and I'm going to just do it this way, Lady Jane, because I'm kind of tired and I'm not in the mood to be sitting here typing things. I told you my eyes are getting worse. I need to back off from the computer for a little while and give my eyes a rest. Because, I have to take this and put it on my other computer, watch the videos, whatever, put them together, convert them, then I have to upload them, blah, blah, blah. So what did I say here? Just to be clear. So here I'm clearly contradicting myself. I dropped a bomb on her. I butt hurt her, right? Because I feel butt hurt, right? In part because of all this misunderstanding crap. But besides that point, just to be clear, I don't play games. I don't, Lady Jane. I don't ever intend to play games, okay? If I was playing games, I wouldn't have sent you $560 in the last freaking month. Like, come on. Do the math on that. From a poor woman, okay? Seriously, all right? That's basically gone bankrupt 10 times already living in Canada, all right? If you know anything of what bankruptcy means. And I am not some random. I'm not a famous YouTuber, right? Not trying to be any more than I'm trying to be rich here. But I am not just some random YouTuber looking for YouTube fame. I don't need it. I'm an Albert Einstein. I go about my business doing what I think is best. Never trying to hurt anybody. Always trying to help somebody. Right? That's just the fact of life. You can't change a leopard spots and a tiger stripes. It is what it is. My son accuses me of being financially illiterate. So what? Oh well, it is what it is. If you think you can be better than your mom, don't let me stop you. It doesn't threaten me. I'm glad that you're motivated, son. But at the end of the day, you do you and let me do me. I tried to help you think. I tried to help you thinking you would Okay. Now, this is where she could say I'm gaslighting her. But no, I'm just stating a fact. I tried to help you thinking you were serious about your charitable work. Are you leaving the community to go and try and make it somewhere else so that you can walk away and never go back and help them? No. This is my village. I am staying here. I love my people. I want to help them. Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll send you some money so that you can help your people, being that you're not trying to move to Canada to get away from the impoverished situation in your own country so that you can think about yourself and get rich and steal other people's property while you do it. Okay? I admire you for staying in your own country, in your own village, in your own community, wanting to help your own people versus standing there casting stones at little children and vulnerable mothers so that you could elevate yourself. So yeah, my intentions were real. And because you confirmed you weren't running away from your problems, I wanted to help you with the experience that I have over the last 25 years, not being some random YouTuber, being a community activist with a bunch of dickheads around me. But it's obvious you have other ideas in mind. Because she went off into the left field, and now she's telling me to make her donations in secret and not post it on YouTube because she doesn't want to be harassed by my trolls, as she's opening a door for trolls by talking on the subject matter that she's talking about on her own freaking channel. Like, how does that make any sense? It doesn't. And that's why I don't even want to do a donation. Like, I don't want to get caught up in that fucking drama. It's enough I have to deal with these trolls. I'm just giving them ammunition by doing this. I'm sticking my neck out for you, Lady Jane. Right? So, I am not forwarding any more donations, but we just seen that I did. Because I'm true to my word. I promised her I didn't promise her. I told her I'd give her another $110 more before this shit cropped up. I'd squeeze it in, and that's exactly what I did. I squeezed it in. Right? Hoping that one day maybe Deb, Lucy, Shelley, well, we already know TeaSha was jumping on board. If I was going to do a park event, I was going to have TeaSha invite her church to come, to which there are African people there. So maybe a donation would have came in there. I wouldn't have collected the money. The church could have freaking contacted Lady Jane by herself and made the donation themselves directly to her, because I'm not interested in collecting money for Lady Jane by any YouTuber or anyone like that, unless, of course, maybe TeaSha wants to swing it to me and I included in with my donation, or maybe Anissa, or maybe Paige, or anyone that we know that doesn't want to spend the extra $6 to do Western Union, when that $6 could have went to Lady Jane by giving it to me. So instead of doing a $200 donation, maybe I would have done a $400 donation. $200 by me, $100 by TeaSha, and another $50 from Paige, and another $50 from Rhea. You know? With the church forwarding money on their own after the park event, because the Uganda flag was flying at the park. I'm just saying. I'm not your regular YouTuber. I got enough dirty secrets in my life with people taking advantage of my kindness and my vulnerable situation in a shitty freaking country that likes to consider itself to be civilized, to which it is not. So when you said you wanted to stay in your own country and look after your own people, I believed you. So I am not forwarding any more donations because I don't like being played. You get me to donate. You don't want the heat. You don't want to fight for me, but you want me to fight for you. And then you want me to shut up and be your bitch and not be butthurt about it, so that I will continue to give you donations as you basically talk smut, convincing yourself that you're going to be charitable at the next corner when somebody else gives you a donation when I'm not doing it, but still expect me to give you donations because you think you captured my heart. In other words, you think I fell in love with you. What, you? Peter? Little Peter? Yeah, I fell in love with little Peter because I'm kind of worried about that child. Because that child could be a little Einstein, an Albert Einstein, that will never have a freaking chance in life because his community turned their back on him. And his mother and his siblings. So what, they can get rich in a village? Yeah, okay. Your idea about charity work and what it means is different from mine. And that is nobody's fault. Because she is young. She doesn't have a clue if she's serious about doing charity work. But if she's just using charity work to attract subscribers to get support so that she can get personal donations under the cover of being charitable, well, then that's a whole new different kind of agenda here, where you're playing with me as a 100% bona fide, 100% bona fide, 100% bona fide community activist that put their freaking life on the line for years and years and years and years, and had a whole lot of shitty things happen to them because of that community activism. And I still haven't dropped the ball. And I didn't drop the ball, Lady Jane, for little Peter today and his family. His family. So please, take the $100, buy what you think is most important, try and buy him a little truck or two for his siblings to play with. Whether it's the little girl wants to drive the truck or the little boy, it doesn't matter. And a couple of other little toys. I'm sure you can squeeze in $10, $15 for a few toys. Buy the mattress. Tell the MamaLynn is broke. She's getting harassed on YouTube for being a community activist in her country. But at the end of the day, I do have, what is that called? Other responsibilities that I have to deal with, right? And that I haven't turned my back on them. And I hope that there's a wake-up call in all of this for everybody. Forget the trolls. They're stuck on stupid. They're always going to be stuck on stupid. Half their brain cells are gone, with the other half being eaten up by freaking brain munchers, okay? You have to grow some thick skin, Lady Jane, if you plan on going far in YouTube streets. Unless, of course, one day you're just going to delete your channel and disappear and act like you never existed so that you can sit in your room with a bunch of gold and pretend that you're rich after scamming other people. But I don't think you're a scammer. I don't. Because if I did, I wouldn't have done this. So it's there. So, oh yeah, I was supposed to send an email. Let her know. But I'm going to copy and paste it. So hold on a minute. Okay, so I haven't sent it yet. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to end it. And I'm going to upload this video, and she's going to do what she's going to do, right? Just like I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Two ships passing in the night. Whether we pass each other again remains to be seen. We're both butthurt. We bumped into each other. Her bow got a little bent and my bow got a little bent. Doesn't mean that we're still not floating on the water, okay? All right? So anyway, this is what I wrote. This is what I'm going to call my video. As a matter of fact, we are both butthurt / and then I'll put something else in the date, right? We are both butthurt over freaking trolls, basically, right? But I am following through with what I said I would do. Best to watch my next follow-up video to get a better idea where things are, I'm just having a hard time seeing the letters, are, well, I didn't write the word considering, where things are going, the word going disappeared. Anyway, video to get a better idea where things are, supposed to be going, right? Anyway, considering the twist we came into. This is for little Peter's family, where you think is important and affordable, and maybe some medicine for the little girl's eye. Again, to get now, again, to get how, see, I can't see the H there. Again, to get how I really feel about this situation, just listen to my next upload and we'll see how things work out over the next couple of months. And then I left it there, and she got her receipt. All right, that's her receipt. Oh my Lord. What am I doing here, man? Can't find the freaking mouse. I gotta do a computer sweep. Like seriously. Oh Lordy. Come on. I swear I get hijacked with my mouse. Look at that. Can't find it. It's just flying around like crazy in here. Just flying around like crazy. Here we go. Come on. See? It's there. Okay. Went to Canada. Came from Canada. She got it. And then the receiver's deed. See? There's the Uganda flag. I bought a Uganda flag, for crying out loud. I'll be probably getting it tomorrow in the mail. Sunday. And there's the Canadian flag. I'm going to end it on that note.